Oh boy, it's time for an update. Very much needed, and I'm just gonna flip that camera around so I can talk to you. I decided after months and months and months that I'm actually gonna be done with the life insurance business. And the crazy part about it is, like, I feel like I always knew that it wasn't the dream. And I went up to Utah last week and was talking to my high school tennis coach, and he was like, what are you doing in Arizona? He's like, your dad told me that you were working on this fitness business, and then all of a sudden you were in a sales business, and then you went to Arizona. Like, well, why did you move down there? And he thought to himself, Megan's hiding in Arizona. What's interesting about that is it's kind of true. Like, a little bit of running away from like the potential, because I had just remember I had just started at the same time. I was working at 4 different fitness gyms opportunities, 3 different gyms, and then 1 for myself online. And then I saw a sales opportunity and genuinely was just wanting to make more money. Like, why was I spinning my wheels working at so many different places trying to get a business off the ground, and then I could just go make money, and then if I made money, then I could pour it into my 1% healthier business. And that was the mindset behind it. And so every time, like, I would pray about, I just want this sales business to work. I want to get good. I want to go all in. But there was always a part of me that was like, I don't really want it. Like, my head is here and my heart is somewhere else, and like that makes it really hard. And for the past couple of months, I've been trying to figure out, like, what does that mean? Because logically, like, I should continue to do sales. Logically, I should continue to work and make an income with that, even though it's pay to play and it's high risk, high reward. But like, that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what's been familiar to me. Like, all I know how to do is work. I've been working 10-hour days for the past over a year, and I literally don't know how to sit down and chill out. And I still have been working on like content and 1% healthier stuff and my podcast and all these different things. And so now it's like, if I literally cut that off and I close the door behind me, then I have no other choice than to make 1% healthier work. And some of the advice that I've gotten that I'm like holding on to in this season of life is, one, I was listening to a podcast by Leo Skeppy the other day where he was talking about how when you are getting to this new era of life, you're being pushed towards this cliff, and you can literally feel like you're not meant to be there anymore. You're apathetic towards what you're doing. It feels uncomfortable. Like, you quite literally just can't do it anymore. But it feels so scary to jump. You're getting pushed towards the end of the cliff, but you're like, I don't know if I can jump. But then eventually you have to make that jump, and you have to trust that a new version of you is going to catch you. And that's what I'm holding on to, is that I've jumped, I've jumped. This week I jumped, and now it's time to trust that what's coming for me is going to come, because if you build it, they will come. I believe that. I believe it. And so now it's just a matter of actually building it, right? Building the business, building the systems, building the client experience, building the coaching, because how I see it right now is getting back into coaching, doing more one-on-one stuff, but I do want to have a group program. And then from there, being able to do in-person events. I really want to be able to do these deeply transformational in-person retreats, and that same experience can also be had online, but of course in person it's just compounded. So I want to be able to do that and expand to that. And then the next thing that I would like to expand to is having a brick and mortar gym. I've always wanted to have a gym, and I can see in my head on my Pinterest board what I want that to look like. But after seeing different co-working spaces, different wellness spaces, masterminds that are held on a co-working farm and a gym, Sweet Honey Farm, seeing things like that, I'm like, ooh, like those are things that I would die to be a part of. And so I know, like, in my soul that that's something that I could start and I could do. Because God did not give me the vision to be the president of the United States. He did not give me the vision to be a chemist or a nurse. He gave me these visions. He gave me these ideas. And so it's about time, like, I start running with it. And that's where I'm at, is right now building the coaching, because for the past year, I do feel like I've gotten really far. And this last year has been everything that I needed. I needed it to go this way. I needed to come to Arizona. I needed to meet all these different people. I needed to get around the high-level individuals who are wealthy, who care about people. I needed to see their type of leadership. I needed to see how they run their business, to see what I wanted to take and what I wanted to leave. I needed to see the fitness community in Arizona, how it's different than Utah. I needed to see myself in different environments and realize, like, who I did want to be and who I don't want to be. I needed to be on my own for a year, and what it's taught me is I can make it work. Even though my mind says, like, it hasn't been great and it hasn't worked out, I have paid for an apartment for an entire year, living on my own, and it's been expensive, but I've made it work. And now I'm going to be able to take, like, the skills and the mindset and apply it into other areas of my life. And when I think about the advice that literally made me move here, it was from Alex Hormozy, where he was talking about the story of his business that shut down because his business partner sold or lost all the money, and so they had literally nothing tangible to show for it except for who they became. And they ended up doubling their money, doubling their worth, their net income, doubling their net worth, the second business that they tried. And it was because of who they became in the process. And so if you have nothing to show for it, it doesn't matter. It's about who you became. And that's what I feel like that is another win from this whole Arizona sales experience, is who I've become, because now I know what I want. Now I have such a better understanding of ideal clients. I have such a better understanding of where I want to be at in life, and that it's totally possible. Yeah, it's been an insane, awesome year, and I'm excited to continue to document, like, where I'm at in my headspace, because I know I've made a couple of these videos and they are crazy to look back on, because I think, like, in my very first one, if I'm being honest, you could like feel the fear, right? And I'm reading the Map of Consciousness Explained, which is also a really cool book that's teaching me a lot about my energy and, like, what I'm taking with me into different conversations and what I do and what I don't want. And man, it's really cool to see how much we've grown, and I'm really excited to help people again. Like, I'm really excited to be lit up by that. I'm really excited to be thinking about how I can serve people and be a business owner, and I'm really excited to be excited by work again and create a business that I feel like is genuinely, like, making an impact, because I get to be on the front lines of it again. Not that, like, insurance, I didn't feel like that, but I definitely didn't have the creativity aspect that I could have had. Like, I totally could have. Why didn't I tap into that? I don't know, maybe that's something I could explore, but I think at the end of the day, it's because I didn't want it. I didn't want to. And now I'm seeing I didn't want to as a win. Like, thank goodness I didn't want to. Thank goodness it didn't work out, because now, imagine 1 year from now, Megan in 1 year, I cannot wait to see where I'm at, what I do, and what do I accomplish. And this next season of life, I feel like is good. Oh, you know, it's also a story that has really gotten me to do something different, is John 21. I made a little TikTok video or Instagram story, both, about this, but I remember like really marinating in the idea. The story is that Jesus dies and is resurrected, and his disciples just decide, I'm gonna go fishing. I'm gonna go back to the way that I've always lived my life. And so they do. And then they go out fishing, and then they're asked by somebody on the shore, like, hey, have you caught any fish? And they're like, no. And the person on the shore says, well, cast your net on the right side of the boat. And they're like, okay, like as if 4 or 5 feet would make a difference, or as if we hadn't like thought about that idea already, like we've been moving around their nets, who knows what they've been doing, but they decide to do it. And then their nets were overflowing with fish, and somebody in the boat wisened up and was like, it is the Lord. And then Peter jumps out of the boat, swims to shore, and Jesus Christ is already there with fish, ready to dine with his disciples. And that imagery is in my mind of teaching us, Peter, if it was about the fish, I could get you fish. If it was about the money, I could get you money. If it was about the outward appearance of success or whatever it is that you think that you're chasing, you're fishing for, if it was about that, I could get that for you. But the reality is, Peter, what I need are disciples. I need people who really, really love me. And it also makes me think about, how do we show him we love him? By taking our talents and multiplying them. And have I been doing that? And so what's really challenged me over like the past month, I would say actually, is am I going to go back to the way that I've always lived my life, the comfort, the stability of doing the same routines over and over again, or am I going to take a chance and cast my net on the right side of the boat and do something different and trust that God will take care of me? He's already got the fish and the bread ready to dine with me. He just wants me to see if I trust him. And that I'm excited to do, because when I first was trying to internalize that story, I went to the office again, did the same thing, didn't want to be there, still was working. I went fishing again. And then I went home and was like so upset. I was like, why? I literally know what I need to do, but I'm not doing it. That's like the most frustrating cycle to be in. And then I realized, you know what? I'm gonna take the leap of faith. I'm gonna do it. And there's so much that has gone into that decision, but simply put, I'm ready to work on what God wants me to work on. And I really trust that that's 1% healthier, and that's where the vision is going, and the impact on people I can help. And I know that I can do it. I know that I can do it, and I know that God can do it too. So that's, oh dear, that's kind of my life update. Kind of crazy, kind of wild. It's August 30th, 2025. August 30th, 2026. I wonder what we're gonna be up to then. We'll see. Okay, bye.